Hello, Janne.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks. I usually have I don't know, I have a strange technique of finding guests and inviting guests, but I saw that you had some like common friends of mine in common, like Johnny Bayer
Yeah.
and Alex from Oslo.
Yeah.
And I go, those are two of my favorite people.
Yes.
So I'm gonna reach out to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Now, I guess like you're a burlesque artist.
Yes.
Yeah. What's burlesque all about? Tell me about that.
Burlesque is about I don't know, it's a whole topic. But it's the way I think about it is like Marilyn Monroe, you know, in the 1950s and neo burlesque is more modern. Whereas like it's not stripping, people think it's stripping.
What's the difference then?
Because if you go to a strip club, then people dance for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it's very about sex and yeah. So this is more about like the teasing. It's the same. It's not about what you take off. It's about like the teasing part of taking it off, and you don't even have to take off some like clothes at all. But it's more about just the teasing part.
Is it like fair to say it's very like seductive?
Yeah, the type of burlesque that I do or we do with the After Dark is seductive, yes, more sensual and feminine.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, like in Oslo, you have other burlesque people.
Yeah.
And they do more like comedy and politics, and you can use it in different ways.
Oh, they do comedy burlesque.
Yeah, so it's more like like comedian.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So the goal of their performance is to kind of make people entertain them through comedy and laughter.
As far as I know.
Okay, but what the style you do is to
The type of burlesque that we do is more to embrace your sensuality and your femininity through dancing.
Yeah.
So it's for women to kind of take their power back.
Okay. So it's like a strong, so it's like when you said to take their power back, does that mean like to own femininity, to be okay with using their bodies in a particular way? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So it's about self-love, accepting your body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seems like that's a good message to spread these days, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And do you think that how do you think we got to a point where women lost that, the self-love, and like what happened?
I think what happened?
It's got to be more than just social media and stuff, right?
Oh yes, it started way before that.
Yeah.
I think we have kind of lost our like men are women and women are men. We kind of lost the like the society is very masculine.
Yeah.
So we are growing up to be like independent and you know all this feminism wave, like likestilling and everything. I think if we're gonna be like men, we're kind of losing the contact with our body and the feminine like energy that we women have naturally.
It does seem like society is pushing for this kind of men and women are the same kind of thing. And, you know, I feel like that kind of causes men to not really know like what they are and what they kind of, how they should behave. And I think maybe it does the same for women as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I know like a lot of dudes kind of feel like so many people throw around this term like toxic masculinity, and I definitely think that like there is a side of like masculinity which is negative, or you could call that toxic, but it seems to get like bound up in just masculinity in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If like, if you're like just lifting weights, or if you're attractive and you want to, I don't know, like hook up with girls, or I don't know. So it does seem like, I feel like there's a lot of problems as well that come with just having one gender. If men and women are the same, you're not really celebrating the beauty about why they're different. Yeah.
But we're not the same. Like, we are not the same.
No.
And we need to see it. We not see it, but we need to like connect with who we are. And to connect with who you are, like if you're a man or if you're a woman, then you should do it through self-love.
Yeah, that's a really good message. So when you're like performing, wait, why don't you just tell us a little bit about the show that you did? Because I saw you promoting it a lot, like on Instagram, the After Dark show, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
How was it?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was very emotional, like it should be.
Was it emotional for you and the audience? Yeah.
So if it's emotional for me, then it's emotional for everybody that's in the room, you know.
Yeah.
It's the energy we're creating. So it's not about just like dancing. It's not about the dancing at all. It's about the energy we bring into the room, so people can leave from the show and like, what the fuck happened there, you know? Like, something happened to me in there, and now I'm inspired to also be authentic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And how long did the show last for?
It was like we opened 8, and we closed the door like 11.
Wow, that's long. 3 hours.
Yeah, because we thought it was gonna be. It wasn't that long of a show.
No.
So we thought it was gonna be maybe 2 hours, but we moved people from room to room. So, and we let like people just hang and go to the bar and.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the whole experience lasted 3 hours,
Yes.
but you weren't performing for 3 hours.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And we had musicians and a blues guitarist, like
Yeah. Yeah, it's very. You play? You're awesome.
I don't play. I used to.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's like, you said like if people left, you wanted them to like be more authentic or something like that. Like what about the burlesque makes them feel like they're more authentic? Or
it's not about the burlesque, but the energy me and Emilia is in when we perform.
Yeah.
Because it's all about like not power, but craft. Is that what it's in English? Kraft.
Yeah.
Your authentic craft.
Yeah.
So, when you do something you love and you feel like, if you do something creative, if you're painting or if you're writing or if you can like get lost in something because you're so in it,
Yeah, like you're in the zone.
Yeah, you're in the zone. So when you're in the zone, you are your authentic self.
Yeah.
And to inspire others to be authentic self, you have to show it to other people.
Okay.
So it's more like on a spiritual plan, it's people don't need to understand what's happening when they're experiencing it, but it's, they will feel it somehow.
Yeah.
They don't need to understand it.
I think that's kind of like comedy as well.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like you kind of unlock some things in people.
Exactly.
But maybe it's a bit different because you guys are doing, I don't know, like with music and movement.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of everything. Do you talk during the show?
No.
Okay. You just communicate through the movements.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
So it's more about like the presence. I had this one dance where it was what's it called? Compare, like the host.
Yeah.
He told everyone to be quiet because I was having this very like sensual song. I was dancing on this daybed. Yeah. And we got like a man from the audience to sit in a chair. Yeah. And like for me that's so scary to have a quiet audience and dance to a very like slow R&B song. And it goes like, I don't want to sing it, but yeah. It was very frightening, but it was so such a strong moment because I had to be present. I had to be like in the zone, and people were like, you can just feel like the whole room was vibrating. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was, yeah.
And how did you get into burlesque? Like, is it something that you've just recently discovered, or?
No, it's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Everything just changed. And when I started doing burlesque with the Gaia gang,
Yeah.
you know, the one I'm dancing with, Emilia, she's also having the Gaia gang.
Okay.
Which I'm also having a dance class, Burlesque class.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's about twerking.
Hell yeah.
And then I started there, and I was like, it just came into my hands in a place in my life where I was ready to just embrace who I was. And then, I showed up in underwear and heels, and everybody was wearing like sports, gym bra and tights, and I was like, okay, let's do it.
Nice.
So yeah, and everything just went,
Kind of took it from there.
Straight up.
Okay, so now this is like your passion at the moment.
This is my passion, and it's gonna be my job.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be my only job.
That's
very
good.
Soon.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So you're making the transition to doing this full time.
Yes.
And how do you make money doing burlesque then?
You get gigs.
You
get gigs, dance gigs.
Oh yeah, of course, right.
So people book you for events, and then if you have like a gig once a month, or 2 times a month. Then
Okay, well that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you can like make a pretty decent amount of cash.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
But it's all about your mentality, you know. If you want it, you can get it. So.
Are you a believer in that?
Oh, if I am.
Yeah.
That's my religion.
Tell me more about that.
Oh, like manifestation and everything?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about manifestation.
Yes. You know, we are manifesting all the time.
Okay.
So it's all about where you place your thinking and how you feel about things. So that's also part of the self-love journey, the self-esteem and self-concept. Like self-concept is the main, you know, alter ego. Yes. Do you have an alter ego when you're on stage?
No.
With comedy? No? You're just Inia?
More or less.
Okay.
But sometimes I have a different, sometimes I have like a meaner Inia. Like if I'm doing a roast or something like that. Or sometimes I have, like a little bit, maybe I have an alter ego because I do comedy in 2 languages. So when I do comedy in English, I'm a lot more fluent in that language and I play like more of a confident, higher status comedian. But then when I'm performing in Norwegian, I sound like a fucking idiot. And then I play like more of a like clowny, dumb kind of character. So maybe I do actually.
But why? Why are you more clown when you're in Norwegian?
Because I sound funny. I sound silly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just when I'm performing, when I'm saying words, the way that I talk is kind of funny and sounds dumb. Så then it's true. Det helt sant. Altså, når jeg snakker norsk, jeg høres veldig dum ut. Okay, and I use that. I channel that like stupid superpower into making people laugh. Okay. So maybe to answer your question again, maybe I do have an alter ego when I do comedy in Norwegian.
Yes, but it sounds that you just are you making that alter ego yourself, or do you just do it because you like thinking you're sounding stupid? Speaking Norwegian, it's not like a good self-concept, if you understand.
Am I making the alter ego myself? I don't know whether I'm making it myself or whether I just kind of get perceived like that and then notice other people's reactions to me and then go, I can... As a comedian, you kind of get a lot of like free material from making fun of yourself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're in like a wheelchair or if you're like whatever, you know.
Your knee.
Huh?
Your knee.
Mine, exactly.
You can use your knee. Yeah.
I can use my knee. So I don't know whether I created it or whether I just tuned into other people's response to it. So there's, I don't know. But I'm very aware that like that's not me in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like I say stupid shit and I sound dumber than I really am in Norwegian. And that's kind of like just for a comedic result. So I don't know if that answers you. That's probably.
I get it. I get it.
You get it?
Yeah.
So it's an alter ego, I guess.
Yeah. But no, it's not an alter ego.
Okay, it's not an alter ego.
But you should try to make an alter ego. It's very fun.
Okay, well, what's an alter ego then?
Yeah.
Like a character?
Yeah, it's it is. In Burlesque, you have you can make a burlesque name.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's like a rapper.
Yeah.
It's like you're not Marshall
everything.
Mathers, you're Eminem, or you're Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
I understand.
So you can be whoever you want, and you don't need to be on stage to be whoever you want. You can just make your own self-concept and just be that person.
So like in real life, you can play a character.
Yeah. It's I'm very for like being delusional.
Me too.
Go delusional.
Yeah. I love delusional people.
Yeah. It's very important to be delusional.
I think so. Yeah. And what kind of how many alter egos do you have?
I only have one.
And who's that?
That's Lady Jane.
Lady Jane.
Yeah.
And that's who you perform as?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And does Lady Jane manifest herself? Oh, coffee time. Hey, Ola. Thanks for the coffee. Does Lady Jane come out in like real life in other situations?
Yes, if I need it.
Wow. Thank you so much, man.
So tusen tack.
He's the barista.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, damn straight he is. Yeah, he just runs and buys it and then pours it into these cups.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So when do you need Lady Jane?
If I'm going to today, I would maybe like step into Lady Jane, but I didn't have the time. So I'm now here as Janne.
Okay.
But I can step into it if I want to.
Yeah, okay.
Like whenever I need it.
And so does she have different different personality traits?
No, it's more about just self-aware. Like if I'm nervous or if I'm like going to a date, I need to be Lady Jane because then I'm like, okay, this is the woman you will have to deal with, you know.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I just heard.
Oh my God. Okay, so do they have to get through Lady Jane to get to Janne?
They have to deal with Lady Jane, and she's a strong woman, so she needs a man. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Wow. And is that like okay, so you have an alter ego that you like. All right. And is there anything else different from like your real like personality to the alter ego?
It's more about like Janne. Talking by myself with third person. Me as Janne is more just more vulnerable, maybe more like soft.
Yeah.
And Lady Jane, she's not like a dominatrix, but she's more. You don't fuck with her.
Bad bitch.
I'm a bad bitch.
You don't fuck with Lady Jane.
Yeah. I don't need to say a word, but it's like when I'm Lady Jane, then you better respect me. And just having that attitude, like you better respect me. Nobody can come here and just tell me what to do. I like to have it because then I really feel like I'm in my like power. And I needed to be on stage and be in my confidence. And I'm like, I need to feel that power and I need to step into it.
I got you.
Yeah.
Is that something that you incorporate more and more into your regular life though?
Yeah.
Okay, so as Lady Jane kind of develops these, systems or like degrees of commanding respect, Janne is like, okay, I'm also think I should get a little bit of the same respect Lady Jane gets.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
So, I also work as a massage therapist. That's my job.
Yep.
And when I'm at the clinic, I'm working with mostly pregnant women.
Yeah.
I can't be like Lady Jane. I can't be her at the clinic. I need to be Janne, I need to be soft. I don't need to be anything, but it's more like I'm more soft, I'm more warm, I'm more like welcoming like that way. And I think it's better for people to feel like it's more soothing in that environment.
Yeah, it's nice.
Then sassy Lady Jane is like, don't come here and yeah.
Kick, baby. Yeah. Let me kick. Yeah. Yeah, okay. But it must be fun having an alter ego though.
It's
right?
Fun.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been like preaching a bit about self-concept. Self-concept is like the most important thing you can do we have to change the self-concept to gain like self-esteem. So if you've always been telling yourself that I'm not good at this, I'm not like this pretty, everything. If we're telling ourselves a story or a concept about ourselves that are negative, then that's what should be like manifesting,
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. I get you. So it's really important to like reinforce a way of seeing the world that helps you instead of hurts you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Yeah, 100%. I think that's really critical for people. So what you're kind of like saying is that when we asked you about manifestation, is that it's possible to manifest something in either direction, whether it's positive or negative.
It's possible to manifest everything.
Yeah, okay.
So yes.
Tell me some shit that you manifested. What you manifested?
This.
Yeah? The podcast?
Yeah.
Really?
Like everything is when I do something that is meant to be, like that is from the heart. Like this show, when someone is, if you want to, you can do it, And people want to do stuff all the time, but they don't because they're afraid of being not good enough or, yeah. So when you're like just having the belief that you can do whatever the fuck you want, then you just do it and then.
Yeah. But you also have to probably like add something to the ingredients, right? You got to like, if like manifestation is a spell, you need like.
It's not a spell.
No, but
it's just,
like let's say it's a recipe then.
Yeah.
It requires different ingredients.
It requires to take action, yes.
Yeah. That's the part that I think is important to also mention.
But it's like, manifestation always starts with the mind's eye. And this is what, like everything. You have to be able to visualize or create it in your mind's eye before you create it in this reality.
Yep.
So that's the main thing. If you don't even dare to like imagine a future where you can do what you want to do, then you won't do it. You will never take the action.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
100%. And every successful person that ever has a documentary or like a podcast or anything where they talk about their success, they always said that they visualized where they were going to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. And a lot of them often say that like I just watched this Arnold Schwarzenegger on Netflix. He's a very big fucking
dude.
Really, really into visualization.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. Hugely into visualization. Yeah. He used to put pictures of muscle men up on his walls when he was a kid. Yeah. And then he ended up meeting that muscle man and then competing against him and beating him. And he said when he was a kid, he really wanted to be a movie star. And then, he just manifested all of it.
Yeah.
But also with the, all the training and all the action with the acting lessons and, so.
But it's about, as well as Marilyn Monroe, like all of these people that kind of made it have done this. You can't come there without doing this type of work. If you just think like you're never good enough, then that's what's showing up in the reality.
Okay, so like step one, if you want to accomplish something, is to first feel like you're good enough to accomplish it.
Of course.
And then step two is to visualize it. Maybe is that right?
Maybe visualize first. You have to kind of create it in the mind before you start believing it.
Okay.
So you can start visualize, or just not visualize, but just like think about it.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is like lay in bed right before you sleep and just visualize whatever you want. Try to feel it like in your body. And I remember when I was a kid, this was the best thing I could do. I was like putting on music on my ears and I was just like imagine myself being on a stage and like I felt like my pulse was like pumping and everything was so. Yeah, I really felt it, but I didn't know I was manifesting that time. But I can see now that a lot of things I did when I was little has been, coming true now. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I found a tape of me when I was a kid, and my dad asked me what I wanted to do. Yeah. And then I played the tape back, and then I'd done like a lot of that shit. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of like weird. Yeah. I don't know whether it was manifesting or whether I was just like, Probably though, right?
But like people are like manifesting, you know, on TikTok, everybody's saying, oh, you have to write this and this, and you have to do this technique, and all the techniques. It's just bullshit. Fuck the techniques. It's just you need to. It's just about feeling and believing, and daring to be. Just be it, and you will get it. It's just.
Yeah. I think like what you said there was pretty interesting, the daring part, because I think a lot of people are really afraid to go for what they want. That's the problem, is that like you talk to, I mean, I've had a lot of conversations with people that are good friends or family, and I've gone like, what do you want to do? And they go, oh, well, I would really like to do this, but, and they always throw in a but, and there's so many buts. And I'm like, well, what would you do? Like, let's just say if there was no chance of failure, like you could just do whatever you wanted to. Like, what would you do then? Then the answer often really changes. Then it's like, well, I would really love to. Okay, well, if there's no chance of failure, I go, yeah, motherfucker. Now we're getting there.
Yeah.
Now we're getting there. Yeah. But like so many people, first of all, like I think I noticed that like a lot of people, and myself included sometimes, have been like afraid to even say to other people what you really, really, really want. Because the dream feels like, oh, it's so big and it's so unattainable, and I don't want people to judge me because of what I say that I want. You know what I mean? Like if you say like, what do you want to do? Like, I want to have my own TV show. I want to like do comedy in front of 10,000 people at Oslo Spectrum. I want to do it kind of sounds like it's pretty like, sometimes it can seem like A, unrealistic, and B, like a little bit like, you're kind of like a little bit selfish, or you really want to like do something that lots of people recognize, and you get a little bit afraid of saying what it is that you really, really want sometimes for some reason.
Yes. So everything you said there, it's like the limitation you make for yourself. So what you said now is basically you're afraid of what everybody else would think of you. So that's the people-pleasing part. That's another topic that's important to just get away. Yeah, just it's... So, okay, you said people are afraid to feel like what they are saying they want is like unrealistic. I don't believe in something being like unrealistic. I believe everything is possible if you can create it in your mind's eye. So we need to. I'm also a big fan of not just telling everybody what you want. It's something about to have the mistakes, because if you tell everybody like my dream is to be in Oslo Spectrum and dance for all of the people, like in I don't know how many people you can fit in that place, but then you will get like the impression from others like, oh my god, that's a big dream. You know, people are doubting you, and then you will start to doubt yourself. So it's better to just keep it to yourself.
That's a pearl of wisdom right there, Janne.
Yeah.
People doubt you, and then you read into their doubt, and then you start doubting yourself.
But that's like the whole thing. That's why we are so limited, because that's what we've been doing since we were children, and our parents or society and everything is like telling you that, you know, you should get, if you don't get a 9-to-5 job 5 days a week, you will end up in the street, kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. So we're kind of being conditioned to take this.
We are being conditioned like as fuck, so yes.
Yeah. My dad wanted me to be a dentist.
Oh.
I know. I couldn't imagine a worse job.
Oh, that's what I'm telling my dentist every time. I'm like, what? Why are you a dentist? It's so strange, like just picking in people's teeth and
Yeah.
So
okay, so like if you like, so like when you're a little kid, right? You have these dreams or like a destiny or something that you see for yourself, and then as you grow older and develop, you're just used to your parents and family and friends and teachers and society, a lot of people telling you what you should be doing, and that's not right for your particular life quest.
No.
But maybe it's like, don't you feel like a lot of people say no because they never fulfilled their thing as well? You know what I mean? Like,
no, said no. What do you mean?
Like if somebody says, "Hey, I really wish I could be I don't know, like a singer or a race car driver or something." Yeah. The people like, and your dad he wanted to be something else and it never worked out for him. That they kind of like project.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's but that's why we're having this wave now with this generation, that having like this cutting all the cords from our past like families. Now we're kind of stepping into a new reality.
Yeah, you were gonna say new paradigm. Yeah.
New dimension.
New dimension.
Yeah, fifth dimension. Oh. So yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
Isn't it good?
It's very good.
Yeah.
So this is like if you see like everything with the burlesque and the dancing, you know, the being in your power, empowering women to do the same, to be authentic, then you can see that this is just a wave of actually stepping up to raise the frequency in the whole like world.
Yeah.
So this new dimension can. Yes.
I love it when you talk about dimensions, Janne.
Yeah.
The hippie in me just starts fucking woo.
Yeah, I can see like this, like the moon behind you and this mandala.
Yeah. Look, I'm a very, very, very like I don't know, like I would say spiritual or like very like curious person, and I feel like there's a lot of shit that we don't really understand as people, just because you can't measure it. But my intuition tells me that there's a lot of connection between people that we don't really understand, and that like when you're talking about manifesting things and like the power to visualize what you really want and go after it and accomplish it, like that really speaks to me, because I've experienced things like that, and just the like the beauty in the universe is like unmeasurable, and I feel like it kind of can affect us in so many different ways that we don't really understand yet. And so I'm hungry to learn more about things like that.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something in you that's calling for it.
I think so. I just think that like it's kind of like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like mysterious.
Yeah, mysterious, but it also feels like home a little bit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I've done like my fair share of like psychedelic adventures, and had like like ayahuasca and jungle and all kinds of stuff like that. So I feel like I've experienced this frequency of like life and the universe and death a little bit more for having those experiences. So like I feel like the world is still kind of magical, and I like that we're getting back to that. And maybe we went through a period where it was more like mechanical and A4 and like robotic, and this is what you should be doing, all this structure. But like to enter into this new dimension where you could like all of a sudden bypass all of the gatekeepers and just do whatever your fucking thing is, and then all of a sudden people see you doing your thing, whether it's on Instagram or TikTok, and then you're making a career out of doing your thing, and you can just do the thing that you love and share that. You don't need to have some bullshit TV show that some fucking asshole doesn't believe in. You know what I mean? Like we're all like, now with the internet, we're all more connected in a way that feels like we were always really connected, but we just didn't know about each other. And I fucking love that we're into that new dimension.
Yeah. It's a very powerful tool.
Yeah. Damn straight it is. Yeah.
Yes.
So what other spiritual shit you believe in then? You believe in like reincarnation and past lives and all that kind of stuff?
I don't know. It's kind of, I used to have, it's not long ago where I used these cards and crystals and everything, but now it's more about, when you're in contact with your intuition and you have like, you let the intuition lead and the heart lead. Yeah. Then you just, for me, it doesn't matter what's happening after we die. I know we don't just die. Of course, there's something else. But I believe like we're here to have a mission. We have a mission on this planet. And as you said, the way like when you're thinking about or just feeling the spiritual side and everything, then it feels like home. And it feels like, kind of feels like I'm not home on this planet, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you said.
Yeah. No, with me, it felt like when I did the ayahuasca. Have you done ayahuasca?
No.
No, it's when you do ayahuasca, like you have to go to this place, and to get to that place, you need to die, or you need to symbolize death. At least I did anyway. So then when I symbolized death, I went back to this like kind of like spirit realm, and that spirit realm felt like home. And that's where it felt like, okay. That's where I felt this like, universal love and like this like place that like I really belong to. And like here, it feels like I'm kind of like, just like in a shell that looks like me, but who I really am and where I'm really from is from this other dimension. And I'm kind of like just visiting this place temporarily.
Yes.
So that's kind of like how I felt after that experience, which was really powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But I mean, it's pretty trippy. The reason I asked about the like what you believe after you die thing is, and reincarnation, is because I read like a lot of accounts about like reincarnation and like little kids that have all of this knowledge and like these abilities.
Yeah.
Like, so I saw this video of this little kid who must have been like 3 or 4 years old. And he was like playing the piano, all these like advanced songs, and like he hadn't learned these songs, and he knew all about like the place where, like a part of Germany, and like this, like looked at maps and like it seems, and like the idea behind that is that like kids that come from like kids that are younger are still more closely connected to their past lives, and they can still kind of like have access to some kind of like knowledge.
Exactly.
And then as we grow older, our new vessel gets filled with all the new experiences, and you kind of drift away from that. But I always found like cases like that like fascinating.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like they're like that's real. You know what I mean? And when you hear about stuff like that, you go, what's going on there?
No, it feels right.
It does, right?
My intuition is saying yes.
And I read a lot about like people that have birthmarks as well.
Yeah.
And like how birthmarks can be like some kind of physical trauma that's carried on from a past life. So if you have like a birthmark over your chest, it could be like where you got stabbed or shot or fell and impaled or whatever.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's
really cool. I had this friend who had like a big dot on his head here, like a huge big birthmark over his eyes. And I just kept on thinking, dude, you got shot in the head, motherfucker. Yeah. That's a drug deal gone bad, bro.
Oh, that's my friend as well. She has this mark in the forehead.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
She got probably,
It's like it was right over his third eye.
Yeah.
It was right there. Yeah. And what about like do like the concept of the third eye? Do you like do you believe that like there's a third eye responsible for the manifestation of your visions?
I can I see the third eye as the like intuition. If you're connected with the intuition, you will also be connected with the third eye. Yeah. It's all about just being like internal, like in contact with your body. So I'm in contact with everything. Yeah. Yeah. But I think there's I know you have like these different chakras and everything. But you have things like what's it called? In tooth like cream.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. It's the fluoride.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't. Dude, this is the fucking hippie in me. I don't use toothpaste with fluoride in it.
No, me neither.
Fuck that. Yeah, I have this like non-fluoride, natural aniseed type of toothpaste that I get from the store near me. Yeah, because apparently that's not good for the... No. It calcifies the pineal gland. Exactly. Yeah. Doesn't that seem like that would be a thing that you don't want to happen? Like if there was anything that you don't want to be blocked or blinded, it would be your third eye.
But that's exactly the thing.
Yeah. Is that true though? Does it like, I think it does, right?
It does.
Yeah. Okay.
And the water we drink, it's a lot of fluoride in the water, and we get like big amounts of fluoride in us every day. Yeah. If you're not conscious about what you're putting in your body. So, I'm everything like the society and government are saying, I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. So I think everything is to disconnect us from ourselves.
I feel like you're right.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't trust any of that shit.
No.
You know, the further it gets away from nature, the less I trust it.
Exactly.
I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you think it's kind of like that just because, like, that's just how it ended up? Or you think there's some kind of, like, let's try to keep them
in boxes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't think so. I feel it.
You feel like the... Okay, and who's doing that shit? Is it, like, the fucking...
It's the power people. Money people, other systems, school systems, you know. We are just putting in boxes to be disconnected, because if we didn't disconnect, if everybody was in contact, just imagine the world. You can use your mind's eye to just imagine it.
Fuck yeah, it'd be a revolution.
It would be crazy. I think we would actually like be having superpowers. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, have you heard of like the story of the slaves in Rome?
No.
When they wanted, like 2,000 years ago, they were like, we should put all these slaves in like red shirts. And they go, let's just put everybody that's a slave. I'm not sure if it was red. Maybe it was white. Let's just say it's red. Let's put all of the slaves in red shirts. Let's just do it. So we know who's the slave. And then they go, if we do that, they're going to know how fucking many there are.
Oh.
And they're going to be like, they're going to look around and go, do we outnumber these motherfuckers? And then they go, okay, we can't do that. We have to keep them disconnected. So like even 2,000 years ago, they recognized that there was a strength in maintaining this system where nobody knew that they were part of something bigger. Yeah.
And that's also like the collective manifesting, you know? The more people believe in what the government is saying, the more powerful that those will be, you know. So we have to take a power back, and by doing it, we have to be authentic.
I love that we're going down this road,
Yes,
Janne.
yes.
I love it. I feel this is the conversation we need to have.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I totally agree. I was like, today I'm going to be so honest. I'm not going to hold back, because, you know, people have been afraid to speak the truth.
Yeah.
Like...
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's fucking
I'm
do
ready.
it.
I'm ready. I'm just gonna have some water first.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Let's.
It's gonna be heavy.
I knew we'd be friends.
Yes.
I knew it. I was like, I like this chick. Oh shit. Yeah, but there's like, I don't even know where to start. But there's so much. Like one of the things that I fucking think really sucks is like the school system. The school system is absolute garbage. I mean, it's. One thing that I am particularly like not a fan of at the moment is like all the kids having iPads.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's fucking so dumb, because
so
they're
dumb.
all like glued to their phones and screens at home anyway, whether they're watching like TV or TikTok. And then like during school that they're just looking at a fucking iPad for 6 hours a day. That is so stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's I don't get it. It's just we know how that affects us, and we do it with kids.
Yeah.
And they're, like you're saying, basically looking at a screen 24/7.
Yeah.
And but you know, like the AI and everything. What do you think about that? The AI. I'm just going straight there.
Okay, this is what I think. I think in 15 years, you and me are living in a cave system under the ground.
Oh my God.
With like fucking robot dogs trying to eat us. That's what I think.
Oh.
My vision for the future of AI is like, we should be really worried.
I know.
That's what I think.
And people are celebrating this. It's like, oh my God, it's so cool. And you can use it you can just type in this and this and you will get like a big story. I'm like, isn't that kind of creepy? Like we are actually losing we should be able to do this ourselves. That's the part of being human, you know?
Exactly. You're outsourcing creativity.
Yeah.
I could never imagine if like the beauty of when I'm seeing a comedy performance or like a singer-songwriter is I know that this artwork comes from that person. And that connects that person with me through the medium of this pursuit. I don't want to connect to you if you just fucking didn't do your homework, if you just got some, you know, operating system to write your song or to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's not authentic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that you keep using that word.
Yeah,
authentic.
but that's the main word for this episode.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it definitely feels like, you know, the reason I talk about, like, I said that, like, I'm afraid of AI as well is, like, 20 years ago, I worked on this what was it? I worked on this movie. I used to be a stuntman back in Australia, and I worked on this movie called Stealth, and it's about a fighter jet, and like an advanced stealth fighter jet that was autonomous and had AI built into it. And then just started like flying around the world doing its own missions, like bombing bases, and big action movie. It's kind of stupid, but
yeah, that's nice. It sounds cool.
It sounds cool. It's
kind of badass, actually.
Yeah, it's a badass dumb action movie.
Yeah.
And then like as I've been like following like the evolution of AI since that, like 20 years ago, you know, whether it's like these like DARPA dogs or like these, you know, robots that are like doing backflips and you know what I mean? I can just imagine that the militaristic use of that is going to be developed and advanced. Like whatever we're seeing, you know that the government and the military is like 10, 20 years ahead.
Yeah.
So I can like imagine like a future war where America are like, we don't want to put American lives at risk. Let's just put this fucking ground force of robots into the Middle East or wherever the fuck they're going to deploy them. And then you just have these like, you know what I mean? Just like, okay. Well, they're already doing it now with like the drones. You know, you have like these drones that are operated by pilots in Vegas, which I always found like hilarious. That you're in Las Vegas. Like, come on. And they're like doing raid missions and blowing up weddings in Syria. So that's kind of what I think with the whole AI thing. And you know, you got a lot of other people, like people way smarter than me, like Elon Musk, and he's like, he's warning about like AI.
Oh, he is?
Oh,
he's
yeah.
warning?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a part of it.
Yeah, I think he is a part of it, but he's warning about it too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know he's developing like these like humanoid-looking robots to do factory work and shit like that.
Oh my god, it's just, it's, you know, it's a slowly apocalypse.
Yeah.
It is. Like, I think people... But that's the thing about us humans. When we get something slowly in, and we like have the time to digest, we don't actually see the effect it has.
No,
like
we're too adaptable.
Yeah. Like use the pandemic, you know.
Scam-demic, you know.
Scam-demic, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Namaste.
Yeah, but that was a really good example of the way people just got used to a lot of oppression and being in their homes and take this vaccine, and all of a sudden we trust the pharmaceutical companies. That was pretty weird.
It's pretty weird.
Let me guess. You didn't get vaccinated,
no,
did you?
I didn't.
Hey, you think I did?
No.
Fuck no. Hell yeah, bam. I'll reach across that one. There we go.
Yes.
No, but you know what I like about you? I like that you still have critical thinking. You know what I mean? Like you're not falling for the propaganda and the ads and the bullshit, and you're not thinking what the power structure wants you to think. You're like an independent thinker that looks at things and goes, yeah, this is what I think. Should I do that? Everybody's doing that. Why are they doing that? That's not right for me. I'm not going to do that. And that is so valuable.
Yeah.
That's so valuable. And I think that like when you have a look at people that don't engage their critical thinking, they end up almost like feeling like, I don't know what it is. Like they end up feeling like I think two things. First of all, they end up just, it's difficult for them to engage that critical thought process afterwards because they've already invested. Like say people that took the vaccine, for example, and then they all fucking got COVID anyway. They're all like, a lot of them are like, oh no, I'm glad I did it because, you know, maybe I didn't get infected as bad and I wasn't as sick. And then you get, you know what I mean? Like they buy into it even more. And I can't believe how difficult it is to change somebody's mind once they've made a human sacrifice and go, oh, here's my blood.
Yeah. Here's my blood. I'm your slave.
Exactly.
And they're so proud. And I get it. Like if I weren't in contact, like this is what everything is put up to. We need these like challenges to test ourselves. Are we a part of the are we a sheep, you know? Or are we going after the pack? Or do we can we think or feel what is right for ourselves?
Yeah.
And, you know, most people don't do that because they just live outside. They're not connected at all.
Yeah.
Inside.
They fail that test.
Yeah. They fail a test. And And also, I know a lot of people took the vaccine because they're afraid of what other people think. So again, the people-pleasing part. We need to like say fuck it to everybody else.
Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. A lot of people took it because other people made them feel like they should take it, including the media and our government. That was really weird.
But it's like it's such a it's so frightening to think about now, and it's making me so pissed. I don't want to use like energy on it anyways. It's the past, but I'm actually kind of shocked. This went too far.
Yeah,
this went too far.
They tricked the whole world.
They tricked the whole world.
They tricked so many. It just made you realize how many fucking like how much influence they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the collective manifestation.
Yeah.
So if we could turn it the other way, where we inspire people to connect.
Yeah.
But we're in this wave now. I don't know if you can notice like the women are taking the power back, like the feminine energy wave. You know, I don't know if it's because I'm like in this. I know a lot of these women that are kind of owning their own, like embody their essence of being a woman.
Yeah.
But it's happening like all over the world now, and you can see like everything that happened with, you know, oh my god, I totally forgot which country it was.
Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I got
Thank you.
You know worries. I'm just reading your mind now.
I get it. Like,
Yeah, right. Like there's a revolution for.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's like this polarity, you know, with the feminine and the masculine.
Yeah.
It's been out of balance so long with like we being stuck in a masculine energy, like men and women.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the women to embrace their feminine energy, and that will also inspire men to be in their healthy masculine.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's kind of how things have evolved, and it is important for women to understand that they have, I mean, I don't know if I can say what's important for women, you know, but I think it's important for women to understand that they don't need to be like men.
Yeah.
There you go.
But we are not men.
Exactly.
We are so fucking powerful.
Yeah.
And we need to see that being in our emotions is not a weakness. That's the strength.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Because we're in a society now that seems like doesn't always value emotions. And I've been guilty of that as well.
Yeah.
I've been like, what are these? I don't care about your feelings. Like, what would you do logically? Use your brain.
Yeah.
Like, switch that shit off. But lately, I've come to. It's true. You know what I mean? But I grew up like.
Oh my gosh!
I grew up in the '80s with all this boys don't cry, don't be a girl, all that kind of shit. So I got like that kind of programming, you know. And I've shut like my emotions off for like a long time in many situations. Just like, don't be a pussy. Fucking just do it. Why are you scared? Come on, faggot. You know, all that weird. You know. Yeah. That's my inner monologue, just telling me to like, you know, not be like as human as I am.
Yeah.
But like, I think like being emotional as like a person is kind of like being in tune with another way of thinking about things. Like your brain and your feelings sometimes tell you the same thing. It's just in a different way. You know what I mean? Like, do you like this person? I feel like I like this person. And you just get to the same answer quicker often.
Yeah, when you're in contact with your emotions.
I think so.
Yeah.
But if it came down between my emotions and my brain, fuck, man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm a woman, I'm not a man, so I don't get it how to be very logical. I've never been logical. That's my weak, like, side. Yeah. So I can't imagine how it is to be very in your brain all the time and then try to be in emotions. But I can try to like, imagine how it is.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I think so. Because like if you're thinking too logically, then you would never pursue something like trying to be a comedian or trying to do something artistic. Do you know what I mean? Because logically it doesn't make sense. Like logically you don't want to fucking spend 5 hours like writing jokes for you know what I mean? Going on stage, driving for 3 hours and then not making any money. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck's that? Like I could have made 2,000 kronas if I just, you know, turned up to this job and you know what I mean? Like logically, logic doesn't always equal like happiness.
No. But we need men to be logical to kind of balance the emotional with women.
Yeah.
So, but also in like you as a man, you need to have a balance between the emotions and the logical. But as they say, if like a man would have 80% of the masculine energy and then 20% of the feminine energy. So it's something about like being in contact with the emotions and not being afraid to be in contact with emotions.
Yeah.
So, but it's also that's why we need men to be men and women to be women, because in a partnership we need those to like fulfill each other.
Yeah.
Not be like competing each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really important.
And that's the issue now.
Yeah.
Like in Norway, this culture is fucked up.
Yeah.
We have so masculine women and so feminine men.
Yeah. That's weird.
It's kind of...
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work at all.
Yeah. I never really had a lot of success dating in Norway.
No.
I really
can see that.
I really kind of like, I don't know, like this is going to sound weird, but I just really liked like Australian chicks like fucking a lot more, or like maybe Latin American chicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
I felt like I got on much better with them. Like they kind of like, we're not competing for the same role. Yeah,
but is it because you can notice Norwegian women having like the shields up?
Yeah, it's because I think they, the shield's up, and like I don't know. I think it's the kind of like what you were saying. Like we're like, I just like women. I don't want to like fuck a dude that looks like a chick. You know what I mean? I love women for women being women. I don't like, if I wanted to like date a guy that had long hair and tits, like, you know what I mean? I would just fucking suck my friend's dick, put a wig on him. So that's what I'm into. That's what I'm into. And I would want like the girl that I'm dating to like want to date like a fucking dude that, you know, like that does dude shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's just do some dude shit. I'm going to hang out with my friends and do some dude shit. You know what I mean?
Dude shit.
Yeah, dude shit. You know?
Yeah,
dude shit's let's just throw some fucking bikes in the river.
Yeah.
You know, do some stupid dumb...
Like testosterone
exact shit. Dumb shit. And I'm lucky I have a lot of friends that do dumb shit.
Yeah.
So I have my dumb shit group of friends.
Yeah, that's good. But how is like Australia when it comes to like the feminine and the masculine? How is the dating culture in Australia?
It's been 15 years since I've been there, and I think it's kind of moving in the same direction that Norway is. But when I was there seemed to be like a little bit more of a division between masculine and feminine roles. Like the women were a little bit more feminine, and the men were a little bit more masculine. Yeah. Australia is a very masculine culture, though. But I feel like a lot of that's kind of changing now. I'd say Australia has a very similar culture to Norway.
Okay.
But, you know, I haven't like dated an Aussie chick for a long time. But that's my observation. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe it's right. I don't know. But that's what I think.
Yeah.
But before, when I lived there, like women were closer to, you know, the traditional feminine types of roles, and men were more like men, I guess. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Like this is such a tricky. It seems like it's tricky, but it shouldn't really be tricky.
It's not tricky at all. We just need to be conscious. We just need to know what we want, and we need to have patience. As women, we need to go for men.
Yeah.
The thing is, as a woman in this country, but I'm very un-Norwegian. Like everything a Norwegian stands for. I'm Norwegian, but I'm not Norwegian, you know?
Yeah.
I'm born in the wrong country. It's kind of sad, but whatever. It's a reason for that as well.
Yeah.
But I think we need, like, we go for a man that is showing us, like, the bare minimum. If they're like, hey, do you want to grab a beer? It's like, oh my God, yes. And we're like asking for that. When do you want to meet up? Hello. We're so impatient. And we have to make space for men to take the lead. The thing is, we don't. So they won't take the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to like be the receiver, and we need to let them pursue us.
Okay. Yeah. And you don't think that men pursue women as much in Norway as they used to?
No.
Really?
Like in I never yeah, how can I say it? I have experienced it in Norway that people can pursue me, but it's so no, it doesn't happen often at all.
Really?
No.
Wow. I would. Yeah. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. No, it's just they're not used to being the provider, the pursuer. They are used to be pursued.
The dudes?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So they want you to invite them out on dates or something?
Yeah, or like you know how people show that they like you now is like liking your picture on Instagram, like one picture.
Yeah.
And they expect you to like see them and then text them instead of just like, hey, I saw you, let's go on a date, you know?
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you go on a date, they don't even pay for you. So it's like,
yeah.
Whatever.
I understand. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So you don't get pursued by men in a way that you would like to be pursued by?
No, not at all.
Wow.
I do, but they're not Norwegian.
That's crazy. Damn. You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. No problem. Yeah. So you don't, that's so interesting to me. I would assume that like a lot of guys, but do you think it's just, why do you think that is?
Because we, as a Norwegian culture, we're used to now for a long time that the men are leaning back, and us women, we are not confident enough to know our value as a woman. So we should let them pursue us before we pursue them. I know I've been in my masculine as well. I was in a relationship 5 years ago. Oh my God. And I was definitely in my masculine. And because I didn't let him be in the masculine, I was just pushing him out of the masculine energy.
But what were you doing to do that? Like, what was
I just always wanted to take the lead. I always wanted to like, if I wasn't happy with something, I would just complain. And I didn't let him like feel like a man. And that I think is very important as a woman to know how to make a man feel like a man, because he needs to feel. That's what makes him want to be around you, because he feels like a man around a woman.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. So to make him feel like a man, that's like making him feel like, I don't know, he is a good provider, or he is a protector, or he does like romantic gestures, like opening doors for you and taking care of you, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, to let him do that, it's very important. So Norwegian culture is also very like people pleasing, and we are raised to be like strong, independent women. So if someone wants to pay you, like if someone wanted to pay me something before, I was like, no, I can take it myself. Don't think about it, because I didn't feel I had enough value for someone else to pay for me. Do you understand? I couldn't receive. I wasn't able to receive because I wasn't allowing myself to like be pursued.
Okay.
I was just like pushing it away.
Gotcha. We're equals. I can pay for myself.
Yeah. No, I can pay for that. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
So that's when I had like low self-esteem. I didn't see my own value. I didn't. My self-concept was very negative. I didn't feel good enough for anything.
Wow.
And like I can assure you, a lot of like most of women in Norway are feeling this way.
So they don't feel confident. They don't feel like they have a lot of self-worth and value. Yeah. Low self-esteem.
Exactly.
Why are so many women feeling like that?
Because again, we are like, this society is very masculine. Yeah. And we need to understand that being in our emotions, and it's allowed to take a compliment. Like, it's allowed to feel you're pretty. It's allowed to feel you are like the most delicious thing in the world without people being judgmental. We should be able to feel like we're the main person in our own reality. And when I was a kid, it was like when people gave me a compliment, I was like no, no. And even though I wanted to say thank you, I said no because I was afraid people would see me as cocky if I said yes. Oh, yeah, thank you, yes, you know. So I would rather just.
I get you. Then you would kind of deflect it instead of just taking it in and absorbing it.
Yeah, because I was afraid people would perceive me as too confident or something.
Wow. Okay. And then that kind of just had the effect of actually lowering your amount of confidence over time.
Yeah. And that's the program I think like we all have. This is like the culture. I'm pretty sure people can yeah. But
that makes sense. That makes sense. I just didn't know that a lot of women were going through this. But now that you say it, I think you're right. I think there is but I wonder if it's for men as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think so. So there's just so there's just a lot of people that don't have a lot of self-confidence these days.
Exactly. Men are like we all, men and women, are too afraid of what other people think of us. That's why we don't feel good enough. And when we don't feel good enough, we don't have like the self-esteem to give ourselves the self-value that we all are worth having. Because there is no one that can... I can say how much value you have. You are the one to decide how much value you have.
Yeah.
So you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah. On that point, I think that like sometimes though, if you give yourself a lower self-score, it's because you know that you're not living up to your own potential. So sometimes like if you know you've been like lazy or you know you've like, I should have done this, but I didn't do that. You kind of give yourself this score like this, you know, you're not always just thinking about what other people think about you, but you're thinking about like what you think about you. And I think that the way that you think about you is often really distorted. You know, you could have like these guys that are like really big, jacked guys that work out all the time and they look in the mirror and they just see a really skinny little guy. You know what I mean? So like this perception that we have of each other, of ourselves, isn't even always that reliable.
No.
That's kind of weird too. You know, when you know, it's not what other people think, but it's like what you see as yourself as well.
So that's why I think it's so weird with training and everybody's going to the gym and like pumping and we all want to be fit and we all want to be skinny. But it's like, if you don't work with your own like self-esteem from inside, because everything is starting from the inside and will reflect on the outside. If you're only working with the external and not internal, then, you know, you are just still manifesting a reality where you feel like shit. It doesn't matter how you look outside.
Yeah. You know, I have a friend who is 30 years old, an incredibly fit guy, very, very healthy. And he got diagnosed with cancer like 6 or 7 months ago. And he's been, maybe 8, whatever it is. And he's been going through chemotherapy and radiology and all that sort of shit. And he just came out of chemo and started to get back to regular life. And I talked to him, and he's a dear friend who I love very much. And I said, man, what perspective have you gotten on life since your diagnosis with cancer? And he said, I think it's important that we're just not so hard on ourselves. You know, I think it's important that we just kind of like just accept ourselves for who we are and don't try to like hold ourselves to this like super like, oh, you should have done this better, but more like, hey, you turned up today. That was really good of you. Like just be a little bit more like, just be kinder to ourselves.
Exactly.
And when he said that, I was like, you know what? Because that's a very masculine thing to not be kind to yourself. You know, you have this inner monologue like, you should have done better. You should have lifted heavier. You should have been further by now. Your career should have been, you should earn more money. You should. And that like internal voice inside of your head, it's not always helpful. You know what I mean? Because you're never going to live up to that voice in your head.
Exactly.
And sometimes that voice in your head might lead to you accomplishing something amazing, but it might also just lead to you fucking being unhappy or just never feeling like what you do is good enough.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fucked up.
It's very fucked up. It's very sad.
It is really sad.
So I think like, because when it comes to men, I think it's so sad to see how few men that actually like meet themselves with love when it comes to different like or difficult things in life. And that's also a very important part of this. Like, it's not about empowering women, but also empower women and men to be authentic and to find that self-esteem through mastringsfølelse. What's it called?
Yeah, mastering something.
Mastering something, yes.
Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
And it's just, you know, it's just all about how when we were a child and a parent, if they always were very, very critical against us, they didn't like believe we could do things, or they didn't give us approval when we actually did something good, or like we always thought we had to do better and better, and we feel like we never do enough. That's how it is when, especially for men, you know, because boys, maybe we didn't give them enough space to be like feel good enough. They always had to be the best, or they didn't get that much space to be in their emotions. So I can see a lot of men now is being very like disconnected because of that, and I know that when they meet themselves in a place in life that is hard with different things that can happen, it's like they go in this black hole because they don't meet themselves with love, because they don't know how it is to be loved in a situation with shame, or you know.
Yeah, that's real. That leads to like a lot of suicides probably, and like a lot of tragedy and things like that. Because, you know, you hear about people and so many people love them. Like you go, wow, like Robin Williams, for example, you know, like when he killed himself, you go, damn, that guy killed himself. Yeah. He was like so many people's favorite comedian, favorite actor, and so many people loved him. Yeah. You go, wow. And like, you know, with you know, I know people from my past that have like killed themselves as well, and like friends' dads, shit like that. You know, I go, wow. And you talk to the kid, like, you know, afterwards, and he just goes, fuck, man, I just love my dad so much. I wish I didn't do it. And for whatever reason, the dad just didn't let that love in, or didn't connect with that love, and just felt that like whatever he was going through was too hard. So that's, you know, that's always the downside of like not accepting yourself and understanding, you know, how truly valuable you are and how loved you are. Yeah. And that's another reason why I'm so grateful that I went through that like ayahuasca experience. And when I went to Peru, because it made you understand that you come from this place of love, that like, you know, when you die, you go back to this place of love, and that place of love is with you all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there is this connection between people that, you know, it is love, and it's just, you just have to accept it and let it in. But I understand as well that it's difficult sometimes for people to cope with life, and things seem like it's not getting easier. Yeah. You know, it seems like, it's always kind of, okay, now things are more expensive. Now fucking the interest rate's going up, and now my jobs are getting threatened. And, you know, when I talk, this is kind of like, when I talk to people and I go, what's your sense on like the world at the moment? Do you have a positive sense on the world, or like, are you anxious? And it's just global anxiety. Like every fucking person seems to be like experiencing anxiety for the future, whether it's like some bullshit political system that's like hyperinflating our interest rates and making everything more expensive, or like the fear of nuclear war, or the situation between men and women and relationships being less and less successful, or like problems with fertility. Like there's so many issues that are like connecting people like on a day-to-day basis, and they just go, fuck. Yeah. It's weird, right?
It is really weird.
It's weird that we're getting like further and further advanced with like interconnectivity, and then everything should be getting better, but it doesn't feel like that.
No.
It feels like everything is getting gradually worse over time. Like we're slipping into this like fucking existence that nobody really wants to be in.
Exactly. So that's our test.
That's our test.
That's our test. Yes.
And we fix that test by self-love and loving each other.
Yeah.
That's a good start, right?
Yeah. We need to love ourselves first.
Yeah.
We need to be selfish. We need to say fuck it to everything that makes us think negative and feel negative. And that is the news. Like, don't read the news. Like everything you said now, the news are publishing this. You know? Just don't read the news. I think it's about, we have to like kind of protect our energy from whatever drains us, because we won't get ahead if we always feel like the future is so dark. The future is bright if we choose it, like if we want it to be bright. But then we have to make it bright.
Yeah.
Like now.
Yeah.
Today.
I think you're right about not reading too much negative shit. Like it's like I'm pretty conscious about trying to protect my mental state against things that are happening in parts of the world that don't affect me directly. I'm like, do I really need to fucking read about this bombing over here? Like, it's gonna like, my brain is gonna get tricked into thinking like, my nervous system's gonna be like, oh my God. But I can't. It's not, you know.
You don't even notice it.
I don't know. I don't even notice it. And,
no.
You know, I understand. I have a lot of empathy for people. So once I read about something like that, I go, oh no, that poor, you know, and then I'm like kind of bummed out.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly, and like the most people would think to not read about or like give sympathy to if you're not suffering with the world and everything that is happening, if you not sit and suffer, then you're selfish, then you're cold. But I'm like, okay, the thing is, okay, there's a lot of shit happening in the world. We know that. And the best thing we can do is to have like fill ourselves with love and good feelings.
Yep.
And like raise the frequency so we can spread it to the world instead of just suffer, like everybody's suffering, like this collective manifestation, as I just said.
Yeah, okay.
So people are like sharing all this crazy shit happening, like, you know, the war and like Russia, and people are so angry, and I'm like, I don't even know about it, because I don't want to engage in those like low vibrational things that like it doesn't affect me at all if I won't let it affect me.
Yeah, that's good. So you're like doing things that like spread positivity through like, you know, obviously like the After Dark show and, you know, like the burlesque and your art form, trying to exist and create things that are like on a vibrational level that radiate kind of, you know, love and empowerment and things like that. And I feel like that's what comedy does as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when we're doing shows and standing on stage and performing, it's like the vibration in the room is like, you know, when you hear like 30, 40, 50, 100 people laughing, you go, oh shit, this is real. Nobody there is thinking about like anything fucked up. Everybody's kind of having a good time.
It's the best. It's the best to be in a comedy show.
It's good.
And if like, and when you like laugh so hard that your tummy aches.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
And just imagine all of the happy hormones that are like happening in each and one of them.
Yeah.
Because of you, you know?
Yeah.
That's how we make the world go up and yeah.
But it is a vibrational thing. Like
Yeah,
you notice it, you tune into it. You're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
listen to this frequency.
Yeah.
This is the frequency of like 50 people all having a good time.
But everything is vibration. Everything is energy. So just test it, you know? I don't know. You probably do. But if you go to the street afterwards and you can just choose which energy you want to be in, and just notice how people on the street will look at you and how you will, like, that's manifestation. That's attraction.
Yeah.
You know, if you're feeling this type of feeling, that will reflect instantly in the external reality.
I totally can relate to that because since I injured my knee, I mean, like, fucked. I was like really depressed, you know, just lying down in a victim position. I couldn't fucking stand up. I had a bucket like next to my bed in case I needed to have an emergency piss. Because I went to the shower like once or twice a day, to the bathroom. And then I was like lying down in this victim position, like down like this, with my legs straightened out. I couldn't bend it, couldn't do anything. And then I was just like, oh, fuck. And then I went outside to the leg of arc, and I was in that like negative, depressed, painkiller, like low vibration. And then people were looking at me like, oh yeah, okay. And then like since then, in the last week, I've been feeling like a lot better and like really trying to, I've had more mobility and been happier. And then like the world has been happier towards me. You know what I mean? So I've personally experienced like these two polar opposite vibrational, you know, experiences. One really negative and then one positive. Yeah. And I think you're onto something. Yeah, no, I think you got it. You nailed it. Huh.
I have.
Yeah, I think so. I love that we had this conversation. You know, it started off with burlesque and then went on to vibrational frequencies in the outside world.
Yeah, it's much deeper than just dancing. It's not about dancing at all.
No, no.
So it's important to just do your thing and just be authentic.
I love that, authentic. I love it.
Such a pretty word,
isn't it?
Yeah, authentic.
Yeah, authentic.
Authentic.
Authentic. Authentic.
Authentic. It's better in English.
Okay, so that's the message. Be authentic.
Be authentic. And yeah, you know, the most important thing is to like start with stop the negativity with yourself and everything around. Just be like, have this filter away with the negativity and in with the self-love and you know, self-gratitude. Yeah. Just see how much you actually accomplished in life. How much people that actually loves you, you know? We need to see what we have done for ourselves.
Yeah. Do you like recommend like a gratitude journal or
yes.
like a meditation practice or something, like in the morning or in the afternoon, or like being like, I'm grateful that I have this? Because it is easy to forget, like, you know, how many people you have in your life or how many things you should be grateful for. We take things for granted just naturally as people. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed, definitely. Yeah.
That's very important. I did it for like in this process when I started to like be conscious about everything and especially gratitude. I did this thing where I wrote 5 things every morning. Like I had this notebook and a pen.
Yeah.
On my nightstand, and I was just, when I woke up, like right away, I was just like, and I was like, fuck yeah, look at this, I'm so grateful. And then you like start your day with that vibration of gratitude. So that's very good to do. But now it's like the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I say, everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always,
Oh, that's good. So that's kind of like a mantra.
Yeah.
That's like your everything is always working out for me.
Yeah, and believe me, things haven't always been working out for me.
Yeah.
But when I have this vibration, even though things are like, this thing is going like down, I'm like keeping myself up and I just like pick it up and everything is always working out.
Yeah.
So,
you know, that reminds me of this like, I can't remember what it is, like this Chinese saying or something. There was this, it was like this, how was it? It was like his son was riding a horse and he fell off the horse and broke his back or his leg or something. And then this guy goes, oh, your son fell off the horse. That's pretty bad. And he goes, is it? Or is it not? And then like the next day there was a war and then the army came to get all the men and he goes, oh, well, we can't take your son because he was injured. And the guy goes, is that good or is it bad? He goes, oh, I don't know. And then it kind of just keeps on going like that. But the point is that like you never really understand whether something is good or bad. But if you have the perspective that you have of just saying everything always works out for me, then you're staying in that positive mindset and being like, okay, no, this is fucking, it's all good. Like there's a conspiracy designed to help me do what I need to do and I got this. Hey, fuck yeah.
And that's how you manifest. That's how we manifest. So you can choose to be in a negative like mindset and think that everything is never working out for me, like the most people do.
Yeah.
And that's how you manifest a life where everything is not working out for you.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's very easy.
Wow, that's huge. It sounds easy, and I'm sure it is easy, but it's fucking really powerful.
Yeah.
Because if you get that, oh, nothing's working out for me, always complaining, everything's going to be fucked. And you're just going to view things from that perspective of it being bad. But if you think everything's going to work out for you and have that perspective, then you're going to manifest things going in the direction that you want them to go in.
Yes.
It's as easy as that.
It is easy as that. But you have to like program it, because most of us is programmed like in a negative mindset.
Yep.
So we need to be conscious. And you know how they say, is it like 3 months? 3 weeks?
To change a habit?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have to like...
You got to be consistent.
Yeah,
you got to really work at
key.
it. Wow.
Because this is key in everything, you know, with working out, with how you choose to talk to yourself. If you go like 3 weeks without complaining, yeah.
Nice. So you don't complain about anything?
No, never. Because if you complain, you're in victimhood.
Yeah.
And people in victimhood are very low vibrational.
Fuck yeah. Janne, powerful Janne. I think this is it. You know what?
Yeah.
This is the message I needed to hear.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that we had this like great talk, but like what you're saying now really speaks to me, like, and the experience that I had in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I was like victimhood. I was like, oh, my knee, and I'm depressed, and I can't walk. I was doing so good, and now everything's fucked. I have to cancel all these shows. And I was complaining a lot. I was like a little bitch. I was complaining like a fucking little bitch. And I was just like but I should just go like fucking bam. It's going to work out. Everything's going to be good. That's going to change the perspective that I have on things and I love about the non-complaining thing. I love the non-complaining. It's so powerful.
But can you see something like if you see on the positive side with what happened with your knee? What can you like tell me something that
more time to write jokes. Yeah. More time to create comedy, more time with my girlfriend, you know, like more time to think and disconnect myself from the momentum of like juggling all the balls. So, I gotta juggle. I don't have to do that anymore. Okay, you know what? I'm fucking like super milk for 3 weeks. Oh, yes. I can just like relax. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Powerful. Shit.
Yeah. That's what you needed.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can just thank your knee. Grateful for your knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grateful for my knee. You know what? I am grateful for my knee because it has helped me. Like, you know, it's done well. And I just got a call from the hospital today and I'm going to be scheduled for an operation in like 10 days or something.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's going to, you know, like there's 2 things that they can do. They can either try to stitch the meniscus or they can just remove it. And I'm hoping they just remove it because
it often like you often have to take the operation many times if you stitch it.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna say like guys, just fucking cut it. I'll deal with the osteoarthritis later.
But do they put like a fake like pillow in there? Or is it just like nothing?
Nothing. But I spoke to them. I go, can't you put something in there? They go, no, we can't do it. I go, really? Like you can't put anything in there in 2020? Nothing? They go, nothing.
Oh, yeah. That's just not the procedure, I guess.
Apparently not. But it's not going to be like the whole meniscus. It's like 20-30% of it or something.
Yeah.
So
if you just like do nice strength training and you just thighs and legs, no problem.
Every day is leg day.
Yeah. The one leg is just like super pumped and the other one is just
fucking jacked. Yeah.
But what is your intuition saying? Like, is it right for you to do the whole just remove it, or what is your intuition saying?
It's saying remove it.
Yeah.
Because I was in the most excruciating pain that I've experienced.
Yeah.
It's very painful. And I don't want to have to go through that again.
Yeah.
And I've had the same procedure, the exact same injury with the opposite knee, and we tried to fix it twice.
Oh, so you have been through it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I've been through the shit. So
yeah.
I don't want to have to be in a situation where I'm like squatting or like trying to throw somebody in jiu-jitsu and then the knee buckles and I'm in the same situation again.
Oh.
And like you said, the meniscus, it's hard to stitch. It's soft. I never want to experience that again.
No.
And, you know, I'm fine. So if they take it off, it's also a much shorter recovery time. If they don't take it off, it's longer and chances it's going to... I don't want to live in fear of it ever happening again. That's the problem.
I get it.
So my intuition is saying, let's fucking cut this thing off. But it's not even up to me. It's like up to the surgeon when he sees it. I can say, hey, dude, just fucking try to take it. But I think they say, like, if we'll try to save it if we can. We'll try to stitch it back.
But now it's a time to manifest they removing the whole shit.
Yeah.
So you can just visualize the doctor saying, yeah, we can remove it. And yeah, we can take it. Like, we can just take the whole thing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And
you can visualize the doctor in like the white coat and everything and like hear his voice. Just try it.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll try it. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know what's the right thing. My intuition says remove it, but maybe the doctor's medical understanding of arthritis is like, yeah, but you're definitely going to walk with a limp in 15 years. I'm like, ah. So, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's self-doubt. Maybe I should
you should just trust your intuition. Just trust it and drop it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Well, I'll trust my intuition. I'm going to do it. I'm going to manifest it. It's happening.
Yes.
Sweet. Hey, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this great conversation.
Thank you.
Did you have a good time?
I had a good time.
Me too.
Yeah.
I told you we'd be friends.
Yeah. I know. We're friends. Best friends.
Yay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Janne.
Thank you, Inia.
It's been awesome.
Awesome.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Mwah.
Bye.